where do you stand on the Montana Brady of it all? The fact that Brady has 4, he could have 5, but the fact that Joe has 3, never lost, his numbers in the Super Bowl are comparable, but there's a 0 in the loss column.
What if Brady is now loses and goes to 4-3 instead of 5-2?
Right.
Is it that fine of a line between greatest quarterback of all time when you have 5, or if you have 4 but you've been to 7 of these? That's where it's hard. I think it's apples to oranges because it comes down to when they played, style of offenses. Montana never threw for 30 touchdown passes in a season, but he was a great – you could be a field general and also be a great passer, and that's what I thought Joe was, whereas Bart Starr was a great field general or Bob Greasy, a great field general. They weren't necessarily great passers. Montana was a great passer, but he was also a field general. Brady is both of those as well, but Joe was doing it at a different time. I do think Brady, with what he's done, given the skilled position players around him, is the most remarkable thing through all of this, that he doesn't have all-pro running backs. His all-pro tight end is not even playing. You take a guy off the scrap heap in Hogan. You get a converted quarterback in Edelman. It's just remarkable who they put in there. LeGarrette Blount was cast off by the Steelers after he walked off the sideline during a game, and it's somehow they make it work. But yes, and it's a tribute to Belichick as well. But Brady's the one who has to make it work when you put the pieces out there on the field. No matter how great Belichick is, Brady still has to put it in play. And, the tipping point would be that. He's done more. He never had the greatest receiver of all time in Jerry Rice. Brady does more with less than anybody.
You
in
could even say
the
they didn't
game.
even have a John Taylor also.
No.
You could even continue down that path.
Roger Craig.
We will never see someone with 7 Super Bowls on their resume as a quarterback again. I mean, think about it, Dan. Aaron Rodgers, let's just put everybody that's in the class of elite. We'll throw in Flacco. Just how many times
do they even have 7 appearances together?
I'm just saying, like, Aaron Rodgers couldn't get back there again, even though he was red hot this year. Ben Roethlisberger's been in 3. He just came 4 quarters shy of his 4th. Eli's been in 2.
Russell Wilson's 28. He's been in 2.
You got Breeze. I'm just saying, when are we going to see somebody, even if Dak Prescott becomes the guy that all the Cowboys fans think, 7?
Yeah.
7 in 15 years? It's incredible. We will never see. I think we could safely say we will never see something like that.
And who's to say he wouldn't do it next year as well?
8th.
Yeah. Because it's interchangeable parts there, and somehow remember when Brady's problem was his offensive line? Like a year ago, he didn't have a good offensive. Like we keep saying, oh boy, the end could be near, and
right.
But it somehow it just somehow works. But I'm curious if it's a package deal, is Belichick going to want to groom the next Brady? Does he say, when you go, I go? Do they do 2 more years or 3 more years, and then that's it? That's what I'm curious about. Is the next reincarnation of the Patriots 2.0, is it Jimmy Garoppolo, or is it somebody we're not even factoring in right now?
Well, I mean, you could say that these Patriots are like already on a 6.0, right? But just have the same quarterback and coach. The first, when we were here for that Super Bowl against Carolina, just think about it. Antoine Smith was their running back. Troy Brown. We could go down David Patton.
David Givens.
Yep. I mean, now look at who they have here. It's a totally different cast, with the exception of, obviously, some of the coaches, and it is remarkable.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.